welcome to a new edition of Games and Names. As you can easily guess, our sport for this episode is the beautiful sport of volleyball. And in this episode, we have two young female athletes, volleyball players, very special players. They will tell us about volleyball, about their passion for the game, and a lot about the sport that you all love. Please stay with us. Volleyball is a team sport in which two teams of 6 players are separated by net. Each team has to score points by grounding a ball on the other team's court under organized rules. It has been a part of the official program of the Summer Olympic Games since 1964. The complete rules are extensive, but simply play proceeds as follows. A player on one of the teams begins a rally by serving the ball, tossing or releasing it, and then hitting it with a hand or arm from behind the back boundary line of the court over the net and into the receiving team's court. The receiving team must not let the ball be grounded within their court. The team may touch the ball up to 3 times, but individual players may not touch the ball twice consecutively. Typically, the first 2 touches are used to set up for an attack, an attempt to direct the ball back over the net in such a way that serving team is unable to prevent it from being grounded in their court. The rally then continues with each team allowed as many as 3 consecutive touches until either a team makes a kill grounding the ball on the opponent's court and winning the rally, or a team commits a fault and loses the rally. The team that wins the rally is awarded a point and serves the ball to start the next rally. A few of the most common faults include causing the ball to touch the ground or floor outside the opponent's court or without first passing over the net, catching and throwing the ball, double hits, 2 consecutive contacts with the ball made by the same player, 4 consecutive contacts with the ball made by the same team, net foul, touching the net during play, foot fault, the foot crosses over the boundary line when serving. The ball is usually played with the hands or arms, but players can legally strike it or play it with their legs. And we now have with us a young female athlete who plays her volleyball at the and who has played many sports before competitively, including tennis, modern pentathlon, and others. She is Chantal Fouad. Hello, Chantal. Thank you for joining Games and Names on Nile TV International. First of all, tell me about why did you choose volleyball to be your sport now, and when did that happen?
I started playing volleyball since I was 10 years old at school, and I still am playing till now. So that's approximately like 11 years. And I chose volleyball in specific because I think it's an extremely team-oriented sport. It's not like other team sports. So you can't basically just score on your own. You have to play 3 touches, and each player only gets 1 individual touch. So it's an extremely team-oriented sport. So it's a very nice sport to engage in.
It is, Chantal, but tell me about the other sports that you played. I understand that you played modern pentathlon and tennis competitively. So talk to me about that.
I played tennis for 5-6 years at the Shams Sporting Club, and then I moved to Smash Tennis Academy. I played pentathlon, yes. I played swimming. I was on the football team. I played basketball for a couple of weeks. I played...
So which sport did you enjoy the most? I mean, is it certainly volleyball because it's the one you're playing now, or did you enjoy something more back then?
Well, my original sport is tennis. But now when I started to play volleyball, no, I enjoy it quite a lot more than tennis. Yes.
Okay, so it's the team sport versus the individual.
Yes, it's a team sport, yeah.
Okay. Chantal, tell me, you're not tall by the standards of volleyball players. When I'm speaking here only about sports and volleyball. So do you find it hard competing with taller players?
Actually, given my position, it's actually an advantage to be short, since I'm a libero, and the libero usually is the shortest player on the court, because basically I am closer to the ground, and I do a lot of contact with the ground, so my height actually benefited me in that sport.
Great, so you're the player that wears a t-shirt that's different in color from the others?
Yes,
right?
yes. I wear. Now I'm wearing. Oh no, I'm not wearing. But I usually wear red, and they wear blue, or we switch.
Okay. Chantal, tell me, how did the sports that you played benefits you in volleyball? Surely, being an athlete playing different number of sports helped you, but I want to know how.
Well, actually, all the sports I played have one thing in common, which is they need endurance. It's not. No, I didn't play any sport that requires me to give in explosive power. And so all the sports I played required endurance and stability throughout the game because it's usually, the match usually takes, it can go up to 2 hours maybe. So you need to maintain that same endurance and stability throughout the entire game. And so all the sports I played share this common characteristic, which is you need to have endurance throughout the entire game. So yes, this is what I benefited from. Other sports into volleyball, the endurance and stability throughout the entire game.
And when you mentioned tennis and volleyball, I mean, both of them, they don't have a limit of time. I mean, they're limitless, so I guess you have to have stamina and to be ready for longer and longer matches. Chantal, what are the main qualities of a volleyball player in your view?
Team spirit is very important because, like I said, it's an extremely team-oriented sport. So you need to have chemistry with your players. Each and every single player on the court needs to know how to communicate with each and every single player on the court. So chemistry is very, very important. I think it's the most important quality for a volleyball player.
Now, when we watch volleyball, we see the teammates shaking hands maybe after each and every point. And this is sometimes it's a bit strange for the viewers, especially that this happens even after they lose the points. So talk to me about that custom, if you will, the tradition you have in volleyball.
Well, it's like I said, because it's extremely team-spirited and extremely team-oriented. So yes, we need to encourage each other after each and every single point, whether we lose it or win it, just to keep the spirit alive in court. So yeah, this is the point of us cheering after every point.
Chantal, tell me about the competitions that you participate in here with the university team that you play for.
We have 3 different types of tournaments. The first is a national tournament, which involves all universities in Egypt. The second is our sectors tournament, which is actually coming up at the end of this month. It's very soon. And we play international tournaments also abroad. We have one next month in Berlin.
Great. So you're planning to go?
Yes.
And did you go to other trips abroad with your volleyball team? And if so, where?
Yes, we went to Spain, we went to Greece, and then the older teams, they went to Lebanon and Serbia.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So Chantal, tell me, where do you fare the best? It's the sectors tournament, I guess? That's where you get your best results as a team?
Yeah, we usually score highest in the sectors tournament, yeah.
Okay, and how do you do in the national competition?
We reached quarterfinals most of the time, but then because we're competing against all universities in Egypt, so it's like over 60 universities or something.
Right.
So
but still quarterfinals.
that's very good. Yes, it's very good. So yeah, okay. Quarterfinals maybe.
Tell me, what do you study, Chantal, and how did your studies affect your how did playing volleyball? How does playing volleyball affect your studies, positively or negatively? I don't know. You tell me.
Well, actually, at the beginning, when I started practicing very often, like maybe 4 or 5 times a week, It was difficult at first because I had to time manage. I study economics and I have a double minor in business and history, so that's quite a lot of things to do. So time management is very important. But then when you get used to it, to the trainings, everything, then you know how to time manage. So this is quite a positive benefit. Yeah.
Do you watch volleyball on TV? Do you go to stadiums? Do you?
Yes, I watch a lot of volleyball on TV. Currently, there is a tournament. So yeah, yesterday I was actually watching a match instead of studying. But yes, we were.
Is it part of the learning process, watching?
Yes, of course. I usually watch before we play any game or any tournament. A lot of libero drills. So only for drills from my position, just to see the tactics, strategies, the positioning on the field.
Wonderful. Now tell me, who's your favorite player, Chantal, be it a male or a female?
She plays in the Dominican Republic. So I can't remember her name. It's quite a hard name. But
And she plays your position?
Yeah, she's a libero in the Dominican Republic.
She has a lot of drills, I guess, then on the internet and so on.
Yes,
so
I
you
do watch
learn
her a
from
lot.
her
Yeah.
Good. Tell me, Chantal, what do you aspire when it comes to volleyball? I mean, do you want to? Are you just satisfied with being that university team player, or do you intend to perhaps try out for professional volleyball for a Division A or Division B or a team or so?
Well, at first it started as a hobby. I loved the game. I enjoyed it very much. But then when I entered university, I tried to play at a club, a Royal Sporting Club, for like maybe a couple of months. But then I couldn't time manage. So it's a nice sport. It keeps you fit. And maybe I can continue professionally, but we'll see after university.
Indeed. Now tell me, what has sports added to you? Some say it always gives self-confidence. It gives a healthy body, a healthy state of mind. Now, you tell me, what has sports meant for you?
Yes, all of what you said are true, and especially that healthy, you're a fit body, you eat healthy, you maintain a healthy lifestyle because this is what you're used to. You need to eat certain food and not eat certain foods. And
so do you abide by that?
Yes, I can 90% yes of the time. But yeah, it's and time management also, and spirit, very high spirit, so you're always engaged. Yeah, so a lot of positive attributes I think I gained from volleyball.
And we now have with us a young female volleyball player who has been playing the game for mainly all of her life almost. She now plays for the volleyball team, but she's a previous player with a shooting club and also Al Jazeera, and she also went to a camp for the national team at youth levels. She is Nada Ali. Let's get to know more about Nada. Hello, Nada. Thank you for joining Nile TV International Games and Names. Nada, a long history with volleyball. Tell me, when exactly did you start playing, and why? And why did you choose volleyball over all other sports?
Okay, so I started playing at 7 years old, approximately, as I can remember. I used to play other sports like tennis, gymnastics, and strew. Gymnastics was good in keeping my body fit. I was in good shape to play other sports. I could play several other sports at school. I was good mostly in physical education class. But I can still say that volleyball was the most thing that kept me fit for the rest of my life.
Right. Now, you said you started playing when you were 7. So was that regular play? I mean, practice, like 3 times a week practice and playing in leagues and youth leagues and so on?
Yes, it was even more.
Tell me about those years.
Yes, it was even more than 3 times a week. I used to practice 5 times a week. That was just volleyball concentrated. I had 2 other trainings that was fitness. I had to work on myself, on my body. I had to make sure that I ate the right stuff. My coach was always on my head telling me your weights in the gym were not that good and so on. So I had to keep everything on track, my weight, my trainings. I had to make sure that I was good at school too. And it was a big dilemma at first, as I was kind of young. I was not that old. But as I grew up, it's getting better.
So you were picked once to go in a training camp for the national team, right? Tell me about that. You must have felt very happy.
I was extremely happy, but unfortunately, as I went to a very hard school, I couldn't keep up. But I went through the first and the second tryouts of the national camp, and they chose me twice. But then I couldn't keep up because school was so hard. I couldn't manage.
How old were you back then?
Actually, I was 14. I was too young, and I had my schoolwork, I had my club, I had to keep up. I couldn't.
Well, that's the perfect age. I mean, that means that you were really special. At 14 when they choose you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think I was. I was good. I was among a small group. We weren't a lot. We were quite around 30 to 40 girls in total over the whole of Egypt, not just Cairo. And I felt good. It felt good that I was considered one of the best players in Egypt and so on.
Sure.
But it was unfortunate that I couldn't go on.
Right. Now, you don't play now for a club, right? You just play for the university here, right?
Yes, that's true. But
yeah.
I do go. I'm trying to keep up with my old club, the shooting club. I'm trying to go once a week because this is my senior year, and I know that later on I'm going to have more time, even though I'm going to work. But trainings are even easier now because they're like at 9 p.m. At night, so I can cope between work and training.
Great.
So I'll try to go.
So you have your mindset and going back and playing in the league again, right?
Yes, that's true. It's my passion. I can't stop.
Okay, great. Now, what are the qualities, Nada, in your view, that make for a good volleyball player?
I think the most important thing is team spirit. No one can work alone in the field. We're on the court. We're six other than the libero, and there's no such thing as an individual player. No team can win with just one player. We all have to integrate our skills and all our work we did throughout the trainings together to make sure that the point is ours in the end. I also like that volleyball is so much concentration. It's a long game. It doesn't have any time limit. So it takes us so long to get the point, and it even goes up to the score. It's supposed to be out of 25. I remember several matches that went up to 30 because we keep having deuce advantage. So I think it just all depends on being very persevered to get the point in the end, and it feeds my personality. I think it's something in me as well that I always want to reach my goal, so that's why we always reach the point in the end.
Great, Neda. Now tell me, what has sports added to you? Self-confidence, what else? Sports, what is...
Okay, so I consider sports or athleticism as part of my identity because I've been playing sports for my whole life, and I kind of think that being an athlete in itself is something else. We have trainings, we know how to time manage, we know how to be part of the team, I know how to do teamwork. I think it also benefited me in my major because I'm an integrated marketing communication major, so it depends on a lot of teamwork. I don't think I would have known how to work in a team if it wasn't for my team sport.
Right. Finally, Neda, what do you hope for in the future when it comes to volleyball? For a girl that was once chosen in a training camp for the national team?
So I'll be as realistic as I can. I know it's hard to get there, but I hope I can. I'm still young. I'm graduating from university at the age of 20. I have a lot to do in front of me. There's a lot of people that are even older that don't even think of getting that position in the national camp. But I think I can, again, I think.
that is all for this edition of Games and Names. We hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as we have. We hope you join us again, same time next week. Until then, have all the best. Goodbye.